So you tend to let other people influence your decisions and your decision making when it comes to romance and love. Society plays a large role in who you see yourself to be and the choices that you usually make when connecting with others. There's a love inside of yourself that you desperately want to share with the world and to share with the individual romantic partner. There's something inside of you that's learning to let its guard down so that you can perceive the right and correct alignment for the environment inside your mental capacity, that mental dialogue, the inner dialogue of how you speak to yourself and speak to the world that you experience. The inner reflection is warming you up to let go of the blockages that are presenting themselves within your projected reality. There's some things that you've done that you have regret, the way you've treated others, the things you've said to people, your certain mental state that you had when you were purging your toxicity, your lower emotional state of being as you were upgrading and receiving the grace to grow and reflect and to admit how you were to others. You feel very lonely in your spiritual journey. There's something about connecting with others in a meaningful, genuine way that scares you and frightens you, because then they would know the real you and who you really are. I feel like you portray yourself as one way, and behind the curtains you are a completely different, opposite character of what others know you to be. I feel like it might be just a slight difference, but there is a difference, of course. How we are in front of others versus how we are on our own is different, but I feel like this measures up to a persona within the public eye. You like people to see and think of you as a certain way, very stable, very in control, very on top of who you are and what you offer to this world. I feel like you do detach a lot from your social circles of your friendships. I feel like they come and they go. They're very fleeting. They're here 1 minute and the next moment they are nowhere in sight. I feel like there's nothing anchoring or attaching you to this third dimensional realm other than the material desires that are conflicting within the obstacles and courses of your projected reality that you aim to proceed to pull into your environment and your life and your experience. I feel like you're gaining perspectives on connections that you've had in the past, that you currently have. There's a lot that you have let influenced you to be a certain way. Your family dynamic, friends, peers, people who have affected you negatively have influenced your decisions throughout your entire life, whether you were aware or not. I feel like you do have regret for how you treated people, how you casted them away as if they were nothing. I feel like you think you're funny in some sort of way. I feel like it's not really that funny. I feel like you laugh at yourself a lot, but it's not really that funny. I feel like it's just something to break the silence within yourself, that energetic feeling of your soul recognizing in the moment how you are portraying yourself to the world. And I feel like to cover that up and to make it seem like it's okay to your ego, you kind of snicker at things that you may say to kind of clarify or confirm conviction within the actions of the words that you're speaking to others. I feel like it's a persona and it doesn't quite measure up to who you could be. I feel like you have a huge blockage when it comes to being judgmental towards others. You have a huge control issue towards others. You'd like to control them. And I feel like you have been lightening up the reins recently, but I feel like you're starting to slip back into that energetic field of having resentment and control over others because you feel like you cannot control your outer world. So the connections around you, you're trying to control those as best as you can. One minute you are excited, happy, and the next you are down. I feel like your emotions fluctuate high and low. I feel like your mental stability is just teetering on the bridge of being unstable. I feel like you're holding on, you're trying to persevere through your life. There's a lot of obstacles of material needs within your life to be fulfilled, like bills, etc. I feel like you do not have the financial functioning to pay those bills or to get out of the situation that you are in now. Currently, you do not wish to become a part of the society slave train, as they say, the rat wheel. You are figuring out ways to bring income into your surrounding immediate life with perhaps social media, I would say connections with others. I feel like that is failing you, and it has been failing you because of your persona and your personality that is being projected to the world. I feel like it's a little bit harsh for the type of audience that you would need to go for the type of field that you would be putting yourself in. That field and area of your expertise, you would need some type of coaching, some type of studying on how to relax your being. I feel like you're wound very tightly, very uptight, and I feel like the only humor, the only laughter in your life is that of when you're snickering at yourself after when you say something you want to smooth and cover over and kind of sweep under the rug, and it's like your conviction of what I just said is what I said, and you're going to deal with it, and that's how it is, and this is who I am, and if you're going to be here, you're going to deal with it. So I do feel like you're very blunt and forward, and I feel like when you meet others who are the same, you clash, and I feel like you will both be the terminology of the ideology of a bull in a china shop. I feel like there's a lot of strong-willed, strong-minded, strong characters in your life that you do clash with. I feel like for the most part you pertain some sort of alignment to being an acquaintance to them, but nothing fruitful or in any deeper connections. There's something that's going on inside of your spirit that is struggling right now with letting go of the need to control others. I feel like in one way you choose not to care, but in another, when it suits you, you care. And I feel like it could be very contradicting. Your actions don't match the words that you're saying. I feel as if you are the type of person that is do what I say but not do what I do. So we get a lot of those dynamics in our life every day with bosses, coworkers, politicians, authorities, superiors, anyone in our life, parent figures, family dynamic, where they are allowed to do or act one way, but others around them are not and will be severely punished if done so. So I feel like you could be a dictator in a past life, and it is still lingering in your energy in this lifetime. So controlling an entire country, an entire continent, an entire populace, that energy is still lingering in this lifetime, which should give you pause to reflect greater on how you treat others, how others are affected by your words and your energy. I feel like eventually you will need to persevere towards a personality that is more kinder to others, more individually focused on connections in order to grow a large following, a large gathering. If you are looking for that, if you have social media, or if you are a pastor, preacher, if there's any type of dynamic where you're in the public eye and you're trying to grow and expand in that way, I feel like you would need to lighten up, let go of the need to control, and that all stems from being a dictator. And one thing I would suggest that you do is, when you are communicating with others, you allow the space for silence, where you're not speaking and talking. And if you can let go of the control of needing to speak over others or speak in front of them, then you can control the way that you react to others. If you can control yourself first in that aspect, then you can control how you react to situations, because you have the silence and the space to allow that to happen.